Today I'm going to share with you the fat loss strategies that took me from being an overweight, unhealthy university student to a fit, healthy business owner. And along the way, you're going to learn a little bit more about me and my journey. So to start, I'm going to take you back to 2020, which was my second year of university. I was living in a house with 4 other guys, and I was spending my days drinking, smoking, eating a load of crap, and to be honest, that was about all I was doing. And although I did have some good times, the lifestyle I was living was causing me to gain weight. It was ruining my energy levels, my mood. I was becoming a bit lazy. I was feeling uncomfortable and unhappy in my body and was just generally looking a bit unwell. And so after I left uni, I knew I needed to make some big changes. And so I'm going to share with you in this video the 3 things that made the biggest difference in my fat loss journey and getting me to where I am today. And the first thing, surprise, surprise, is nutrition. Nutrition is king when it comes to fat loss and improving your health and your body. And there's lots of other things you could be doing around it, but at the end of the day, if you're not getting your nutrition right, you're gonna really struggle with fat loss. And so I'm gonna share with you what I think are the 3 most important things to make sure you're getting your nutrition right. And this is what I did to get my results. First thing is eating a diet full of natural, single ingredient, nutrient dense foods. This is the basis of fat loss and health. If I could give anyone one piece of advice on how to improve their health and lose weight, this would be it. Just filling your diet with natural foods and cutting out all the ultra processed foods and refined carbs and sugar. That is rule number 1, and it's a really important one. The second thing is controlling your insulin levels. Now, insulin is a hormone that takes glucose, which is energy found in carbohydrates and sugar, and it takes it to different parts of the body as and when you need it. However, any excess glucose that your body doesn't immediately need, insulin stores as body fat. So learning to control your insulin levels and not spiking your insulin is one of the most important things in losing fat, because it is impossible for your body to tap into your fat storage and start burning that if your insulin levels are constantly raised. So the way that you manage your insulin and keep it low is by reducing the amount of carbs and sugar you are eating, especially any refined or processed carbs and sugar. And then being tactical with carbohydrates about what kind of carbs you're consuming, when you're consuming them, and with what foods you consume them with, because all of those play a role in how much those carbohydrates are going to negatively affect your insulin levels and therefore your fat loss results. So controlling insulin, super important. And this brings me to my 3rd rule for nutrition, and that is eating enough protein. And this is actually a pretty simple one. All you need to do is take your body weight in pounds and times it by 0.8, and that will tell you how many grams of protein you need to be eating each day. So that little equation there makes it really quite simple. Now, where do you want to be getting your protein from? Again, we're focusing on natural nutrient-dense foods. That's mainly going to be coming from fish, meat, eggs, and dairy. That's where I get the majority of my protein from and how I've got the results that I've managed to get. And so I suggest you doing something similar. And one side note is, do not be afraid of the higher fat protein sources, fatty cuts of beef, chicken thighs instead of chicken breasts, eating the whole egg, eating full fat dairy. You want to stick to all of those things. Don't go for low fat products. So let's go on to the next step, which is resistance training. And this is super important because building muscle plays a massive role in fat loss, maintaining fat loss, your body composition and how you physically look, and your overall health and longevity, and so many other things. So making sure you're doing some kind of resistance training is super important. I go to the gym 4 times a week, about hour-long sessions, but you wouldn't have to do that long. You could do 3 40-minute sessions, and that is still going to be really effective in building muscle if you are doing the right exercises. And the main tip that I can give you that I've learned about resistance training over the years is focusing on progressive overload. And this is essentially just focusing on the same movements or the same exercises and progressing those exercises. So that's increasing how much weight you can lift on the exercises or how many reps you can do for the same weight on an exercise. But progressing is so important for building muscle. And so I wouldn't suggest falling into the trap of jumping between different programs too regularly. You want to give yourself time to progress on the movements that you are currently focused on. And that brings me on to the third thing that's been the biggest mover for me in getting my fat loss results, and that is mindset and habits. And I want to just talk about mindset for a minute, because so many people fall into the trap of going on a diet or going on a health kick or jumping onto a exercise program. And when people talk about going on something, it often suggests that they're going to go off it. And that's just not the approach you can have with fat loss, especially if you want it to be sustainable fat loss that lasts. And so that word, sustainability is so important in what you are doing. If you are doing a diet or you are doing an exercise routine that you cannot see yourself doing long term for years or for the rest of your life, then that is not an exercise routine or a diet that's going to work for you. And this is the mindset you need to flick into. You need to be looking at your diet and your exercise and your lifestyle and going, how can I change this for life? Not, I'm going to jump onto a 10-week diet and lose 30 pounds and then I can party because I've lost all this weight, and you just gain the weight back in just as quick time, if not quicker than you lost it. It is about creating a routine that you can stick to for life. And one way that has really helped me with this is implementing habits into my life. Habits that improve my energy levels and my sleep and my recovery, and help me to stick to the diet and the exercise and all the other elements of what I preach. And so, for example, I wake up every morning and I have a cold shower. It is amazing for your energy level and your mood, and it boosts and helps your body with fat loss. Another example is optimizing sleep. This is so important. As an entrepreneur, as busy entrepreneurs as we are, I know that time is our most valuable asset. But sleep is essential. And if you are not getting at least 7 hours of sleep every night, and 7 being a minimum, some people need 8 or 9, but 7 as a minimum, you are not getting enough sleep, and it will be negatively affecting your health, your fat loss, and your ability to function at a high level in your business or in your job. I would also suggest, if you are a coffee drinker or you drink caffeine, holding off the first 90 minutes after you wake up and stopping drinking any coffee 8 hours before you go to bed. And so if you can stick to those 3 things, the nutrition, where you're focusing on natural, nutrient-dense foods, you're controlling your insulin and you're eating enough protein. The resistance training, getting in those 40 minutes resistance training each week, where you're focusing on improving on those movements. And the third thing, approaching this with the right mindset of, this is something for life, not something that I'm going to jump on and off of, and implementing habits into your day that are going to help you with that longevity and help you with your goals. That's it. That's all you need to do. It's quite simple, quite straightforward, but those are the 3 biggest things that I could suggest to help you with your fat loss goals. And that is exactly what helped me with mine. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it has been helpful for you. If it has, please give it a like. And if you want to see more content like this, then please subscribe, because I'll be making lots more helpful videos, giving you advice on how you can make fat loss a lot more sustainable and simple for you. Thanks again, and see you in the next video.